A Wrinkle in Time is a science fiction novel written by Madeleine L'Engle and published in 1962. The story follows the journey of Meg Murray, her younger brother Charles Wallace, and their friend Calvin O'Keefe as they embark on a quest to rescue Meg's father, a scientist who has gone missing while working on a secret government project. The novel begins with Meg, Charles Wallace, and their mother living in a small town in New England. Meg is a young teenager who struggles with feelings of insecurity and inadequacy, and Charles Wallace is a brilliant but peculiar child who seems to have psychic abilities. Meg's father, a physicist named Dr. Alexander Murray, disappeared 4 years ago while conducting top-secret research for the government. One stormy night, Meg and Charles Wallace are visited by a mysterious woman named Mrs. Watsit, who claims to be a former star and has knowledge of Dr. Murray's whereabouts. Mrs. Watsit introduces Meg and Charles Wallace to her two companions, Mrs. Who and Mrs. Witch, and together they reveal to the children that Dr. Murray is being held captive by a dark force known as the Black Thing. The three Mrs. W's and the children embark on a journey through space and time, traveling through a phenomenon called a wrinkle in time. Along the way, they encounter strange planets and creatures, including a planet inhabited by tall, winged creatures called centaurs and a planet controlled by a disembodied brain named IT. As they get closer to finding Dr. Murray, Meg, Charles Wallace, and Calvin are forced to confront their own fears and weaknesses. Meg, in particular, must confront her own self-doubt and learn to embrace her strengths in order to save her father and defeat the Black Thing. In the end, Meg is able to rescue her father with the help of her love for him and her willingness to sacrifice herself for him. They all travel back to Earth, where Meg learns to appreciate her own uniqueness and to trust in the power of love and compassion.